Well, I come here today as President of the Ohio Senate, and I was going to talk about the dozen or so pieces of legislation the Senate's worked with the House and the governor, following the governor's leadership on the heroin epidemic and a number of the other things. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk as a father of a 9-year-old and of a 7-year-old. My kids started to school yesterday. And my wife and I have made a conscious effort, in part because of this program, Governor, and our conversations that we have with the Speaker when the three of us meet about every week, about the importance of having moms and dads, grandpas and grandmas, aunts and uncles, coaches and teachers, the community talk about this scourge that is drug addiction. You know, we were driving the other day to the Great Dark County Fair, and I don't know what made my wife and I bring the subject up, as we try and do about every week, about the importance of not doing drugs. And I guess in my wildest dreams, I would have never thought I'd have to talk to a second grader or a fourth grader about not doing drugs. But about 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go out, dedicate a road for a fallen soldier, and one of the law enforcement people that was there, just by chance, talked about a drug bust he'd made the night before. You know when that young man started doing drugs? When he was 10 years old. This problem of drug addiction is not a problem that is isolated to the big cities. I represent 7 rural counties. It's a problem. It's such a problem that myself and State Representative Jim Beakey had an occasion to go visit inmates in the Mercer County Jail. The county has a total of 40,000 people. And the sheriff had a program at the time where he took promising people who had been there for 6 months for drug addiction problems and put them into a program, working on education, working on life skills to try and get them to break their habit. When I met with those young men, all of them said their addiction started with pills. One of them after a worker's injury, one of them at a party, another one in another similar circumstance. And you know what the story was for each and every one of them? Devastated lives. Children without fathers because they were in jail. Families without hope. Now, I wish I could stand here and tell you there was a happy ending to the story for these 6 men. All of them were given opportunities. All of them were given jobs upon their release. All of them reoffended and came back. And that's part of the story about the addiction process. We can treat, we can counsel, but we're a heck of a lot better off if we can prevent. And this program, Start Talking, is focused on prevention. And so I encourage you as moms, as dads, as aunts, as uncles, as grandparents, have that conversation with your kids. Because after you get over the initial reluctance, it's not that bad a conversation. It's actually pretty good, because we branched out to talking about things like peer pressure. We branched out to talking about a whole lot of other issues. Bullying, making fun, teasing, all the other things that you have an opportunity to have that conversation with your kids. I've said this before, my wife and I aren't perfect parents, but we're parents first. And we're trying to do our part in our home. I encourage all of you to do the same.